The gusher on Cooper's land isn't a blessing, it's a target. While he sees dollar signs, Tommy sees a flashing neon sign for every predator in the Permian Basin. That $10 million a year is blood in the water, and Tommy knows the sharks are already circling. He's trapped between protecting his son's future and the terrifying reality that this sudden fortune could get them all killed. Cooper, drunk on independence and success, is in no mood to listen to his father's warnings, setting up a brutal clash between naive ambition and hard-earned paranoia. This family conflict is about to boil over, threatening to fracture them from within just as external forces prepare to strike. Meanwhile, the corporate crown Tommy never wanted feels heavier than ever. Cammy Miller's declaration of war on their partners was a masterstroke, but it has made MTex a fortress under siege. Every decision is scrutinized, every move contested. Tommy is learning that being president means living in a gilded cage, surrounded by people waiting for him to fail. The power he holds is an illusion, a fragile thing that could shatter with one wrong calculation. He is drowning in a sea of contracts and threats, and the life raft he promised himself, a sober, controlled existence, is already slipping beneath the waves. The promise to stop drinking is a distant memory, a casualty of the immense pressure. Cammy Miller is no longer the silent widow in the background. She is the majority owner, and she is beginning to act like it. Her confidence on the stage was just the beginning. Behind closed doors, she is making strategic moves that bypass Tommy entirely, trusting her own instincts over his counsel. She sees the oil business not as a gentleman's game, but as a war, and she is prepared to be its most ruthless general. This will inevitably lead to a direct confrontation with Tommy, who believes the job requires a more nuanced, diplomatic touch. He'll try to take her side to make her see reason, but he will find a will of iron. The friction between them is not just a power struggle, it's a fundamental clash of philosophies. Can a company survive with two heads, especially when one is charging into battle and the other is trying to broker peace? The stability of MTex hangs in the balance. As Cammy consolidates her power, she unknowingly steps on the toes of dangerous rivals who underestimated her. They saw a vulnerable woman to be manipulated and are now facing a formidable opponent. But her rise also makes her a target. The same men who smiled and shook her hand at that luncheon are now plotting in shadowy boardrooms, determining how best to remove this new obstacle. Cammy's newfound strength may be the very thing that provokes an attack that could destroy everything Monty built. At home, the foundations are crumbling. Ariana, overwhelmed and traumatized by the constant danger that follows this family, sees Cooper's oil strike not as a miracle, but as a death sentence. The ghost of last season's cartel violence haunts her, and every dollar Cooper celebrates feels like another link in a chain binding them to a life of fear. Her suspected pregnancy is no longer a secret she can keep, and the revelation will land like a bomb in the middle of this tense family dynamic. She will confront Tommy, not as his son's girlfriend, but as a mother, fighting for the safety of her unborn child. She will demand that Cooper walk away from the oil, from the danger, from the legacy that has caused the Norris family nothing but pain. Tommy, who has built his entire identity on this world, will see this as an attack on everything he is. This clash isn't more than just a generational argument, it's a battle for the soul of the family's future. Meanwhile, the chaotic energy of Tommy's household is amplified by the arrival of his father, TL. This isn't a happy reunion, it's the collision of two stubborn, broken men. TL, grieving and hardened by a lifetime of his own struggles, sees the mess his son is in, both professionally and personally, and has no patience for any of it. TL's presence is a storm rolling into Tommy's already turbulent life. He isn't coming for a quiet retirement. He is a relic of a tougher, simpler time in the oil fields, and he carries with him a wealth of brutal, unvarnished wisdom.
Tommy may have wanted a father to comfort, but what he gets is a critic, a strategist, and a wild card. TL will immediately see what Tommy cannot, that Cammy Miller is the true power at MTex. But unlike Tommy, who wants to manage her, TL might see her as the key to their survival. He could become an unlikely ally to Cammy, recognizing her ferocity as the asset the company desperately needs, further alienating his own son. Or he might try to manipulate her, a dangerous game that could backfire spectacularly. TL's methods are from a different era, less about corporate maneuvering and more about raw, direct confrontation. He doesn't understand emails and board votes. He understands handshake deals and implied threats. His attempt to take Cammy under control could unleash chaos, pitting the old guard against the new in a way that fractures the company beyond repair. In the Norris household, TL becomes a mirror, forcing Tommy to confront the man he has become. All these separate conflicts are converging into a single unstoppable storm. Cooper's oil strike has drawn the attention of powerful enemies who see a young, inexperienced landman as an easy mark. These are not corporate rivals. These are the kind of men who operate in the dark, who see violence as a legitimate business tactic. The cartel, thought to be a problem of the past, may be re-emerging, drawn by the sense of easy money on Cooper's land. At the same time, the corporate enemies Cammy made with her bold speech are moving against MTex, using legal and financial weapons to strangle the company. Tommy is caught in the middle, forced to fight a war on two fronts. He must protect his son from physical threats while also saving his company from financial ruin. And he must do it all with a fractured family, a rebellious business partner, and a grieving, domineering father questioning his every move. The secrets of the land are about to be unearthed, not by geologists, but by the force of escalating conflict. Alliances will be tested, loyalties will break, and the very definition of what it means to be a landman will be challenged. The price of success is becoming terrifyingly clear, and Tommy Norris is about to learn that some debts can only be paid in blood.